please, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Got a few things I want to talk about today. I want to quickly just cover again the game from yesterday. Like I said, I wasn't going to plan to watch the Super Bowl. I was kind of over the fact that the Chiefs even got a chance to be in there. I think the Bills should have been a team that should have had won the AFC Championship game to have a chance to play in New Orleans. That kind of pissed me off, so I was like trying to, avoid it. But it's very tough to, I realized too. A lot of my friends, a lot of people on the Discord, YouTube notifications, people out there was saying scores to me and, telling me about the game. And near the end of it, around halftime after the show, I didn't watch Kendrick Lamar. To be honest, I don't even know who he is. I have no idea about this beef between Drake and Lamar. I have no idea. That's not really my style of music. I'm more into like punk music and stuff like that. Back in the 90s kind of music. So that's my jam. So I didn't watch the halftime show. So I have no comment. Zero comment. I did see as well though, speaking of the Super Bowl, that Taylor Swift got absolutely booed. But that might have been too because the Chiefs were losing and maybe it was that kind of like Chiefs refs kind of involvement too. I don't think she deserves to be booed, but it happens when you go to sporting events. People can, they can do it. They boo anyone. They were yelling out Fire Matt Canada in Penguins games. So the fan base can be ruthless sometimes from that sense. But yesterday was the Super Bowl. If you guys caught it, maybe you had some friends over. Maybe you had a chance to catch up with some mates, or you went to the bar or whatever. And the Eagles absolutely smoked them, 40-22. But it should have been high, less than that. It was really garbage time touchdowns from the Chiefs, because at one time it was 34-0, right? And we saw Kenny Pickett in the game too. Kenny Pickett played in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to talk about that in a few short moments. But the Chiefs were found out, and as I was talking about in my video yesterday, or this time yesterday when the Super Bowl was over, the Chiefs to a certain point were frauds. All year I'd been talking about them getting help for certain calls, and the refs getting involved and throwing flags out, and you couldn't touch Mahomes. If you were to hit him in the shoulder, or you just breeze past him, and a flag comes out. So there were phantom calls giving the Chiefs extra, plays. Even the one I went to on Christmas Day game, I still talk about it, was that Jalen Warren TD was fantastic. So awesome. Then they called a holding penalty on, I think it was Darnell Washington, and next minute, Russ throws an interception. So Chiefs got there, but in this game versus the Eagles, there was no flags. So shout out to the Eagles and Jalen Hurts and Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata, I think he's the first Aussie player to start and to win a championship. So Eagles now have two, and they smashed them, dude. 40-22. It should have been 34-0. It should have been 40-7 or 40-6 or something like that. They smashed him. But what this video is about today, guys, is I want to talk about Kenny Pickett, because I find this really funny. Kenny Pickett is now a Super Bowl champion, but he's a backup, right? He's a backup. He got a few plays. I think he handed the ball off 3 or 4 times. He threw the ball once for 0-1. And the reason why he even caught reps in this game was because they smashed him. So the fact that the Eagles team was that dominant on defense, getting picks, 1 for a TD, 1 near the goal line, and the defensive line got 6 sacks, they were that dominant of a team for the Eagles that the Eagles were allowed to even bring in Kenny Pickett. Now, first of all, I think it's pretty cool. I think if Kenny Pickett is hoisting Lombardi, and from his perspective, not a fan perspective, but from his perspective, he works hard. He goes to the meetings. He goes to all the lunches. He goes to all the training sessions. He works hard as a quarterback. He's part of that team. Of course, the Steelers traded him away because when they went and got Russell Wilson, Kenny Pickett didn't like the vibe, didn't want to be, the understudy to Wilson. He wanted to try and go somewhere else, so he felt unhappy. He wanted out. Steelers trade him away to the Eagles. Next minute, Eagles go to the Super Bowl, and he wins the championship. So from that point, as a player, Kenny Pickett, his team, and he did contribute to win a Super Bowl. At the same time, though, he didn't do that much. But as a player, it's awesome. Congrats to you, Kenny, man. Shake your hand. That's cool, bro. You get a ring. The whole team gets a ring. The city of Philly's going crazy. And hopefully they haven't burnt down their city yet. And I know they have to grease all the light poles. And Philadelphia fans are crazy out there. And I hope it was like a safe championship night and it wasn't too many riots and too many cars on fire. But congrats to Kenny that he won a championship with Philadelphia. Okay, Philadelphia Eagles, he won. Right, let's get that out of the way. On the other side, it doesn't mean though, however, that Steelers fans can use this against the organization or the franchise. I do see a lot of people in the comments, and I see a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter, and this is where I see all my news, right? They're talking about how Kenny is winning championships and winning more playoff games than the Steelers. But you can't just use Kenny. You can't just use this bloke here. You'd have to use the whole team. Kenny, on a personal level, didn't do much, if anything, really, to win a championship. He's there holding the clipboard. He's there, organizing the calls and helping out Jalen Hurts and saying, I reckon you should do this hot route. I reckon you should change. This guy's wide open. Look out for this corner. But on a personal level, Kenny Pickett, if he were to attribute to the championship, is like 0.001%. But nothing against him personally. I'm just saying Steelers fan base are now trying to troll other Steelers fans in the fan base saying, well, we missed out on Kenny Pickett. We should have kept him. We should have had Kenny Pickett here to win championships. Or Kenny Pickett's winning championships more than what we are for the Steelers, and we haven't won a playoff game in like 7 years or whatever. We know. Everyone knows that. It's funny too. Everyone always brings it up. We haven't won a playoff game in 7 times. We know that. Every fan knows that. We definitely know we have not won a playoff game in a long time. So I find that kind of wild that people will compare now Kenny Pickett and the franchise saying, oh, the Steelers are now stuffed up. They did wrong by Kenny. That was his revenge to go win a Super Bowl. You know what? Maybe if he started and he threw 4 TDs and he was in the playoffs and he won 3 games in a row and he was one of the best players on the field, 100% you can make the argument. But the fact that he's a backup and he's holding a clipboard, you can't make that argument against the franchise failing him, right? The Steelers wanted to get better at quarterbacks. They brought in Russell Wilson. Once that happened, Kenny Pickett said, you know what? I want out. And they traded him away to his childhood fan team, the Eagles, and now he's won a championship with the Eagles. So, on one sense, it's fantastic. Fuck yeah, Kenny Pickett, you got to hold the Lombardi. Congrats to you. On the other side, Steelers fans, calm down. It's not the organization's fault that Kenny has won one. It's really the team. The Eagles are a good side. The Eagles are a good franchise and doing good things and maybe flying under the radar. Fly, Eagles, fly, no pun intended. But maybe they're flying under the radar, doing really good work in the draft, getting good guys on the D-line, getting good guys like Mailata on the O-line. Got a good quarterback in Jalen Hurts, receivers, A.J. Brown. They're killing it. They're on fire. Saquon Barkley of one of the best trades in recent history. It's not just Kenny Pickett. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not just Kenny Pickett, but shout out to Kenny Pickett. Now, we're going to move on. We're moving on now because it's like the unofficial season, 2025 season. The 2024 season is now is over. The Eagles are champions. Shout out to you. They've won 2. Now is the first day. It's like Super Bowl hangover day. And it's like, what are the Steelers going to do next? Well, we have the draft coming up. So the draft order is this. So Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Jags, Raiders, Jets, Panthers, Saints, Bears, some of the worse off teams. And what do the Titans do with number overall pick? We are sitting there at 21 for the Steelers. Do they go D-line? Do they go receiver? Do they go... could they go offensive line again, but possibly? Do they go cornerback with the first pick, right? Right now, though, for the next month, the Steelers need to decide what is going to happen at the quarterback position. So Russell Wilson, he saw that tweet via the Steelers saying it's official, new year, 2025. He shared that. I think Russell Wilson wants to come back to be a Steeler. I think Justin Fields wants to as well. I think the Steelers want Fields back or Wilson back. We just don't know which one they like better. But let's say that Fields goes and signs a contract, with the Raiders or, the Giants. I don't know. Maybe they go and sign. Maybe the Browns pick him up. Maybe Fields goes somewhere else. Then what would the Steelers have to do at that position, being the quarterback position? Would you go back to Russell Wilson? So, look, a lot of questions to answer. in the next month or so. But that's a draft order. That's next month, 2 months away, whatever it is. We're now looking forward to March, which is the free agent period. I did see one funny thing too with this. This like reminds me of when I went to Super Bowl 50, and it just tells you how fast things can fly. It says here from UK, Ireland, that's the NFL site. Who you got? Winner of Super Bowl 60 will be all these teams, all 32 teams. Well, you can scratch out the Browns. There's no way they're going to win it. But all 31 teams have a chance, including our Steelers. Now, it's funny because Super Bowl 60 was it's 10-year anniversary from 50, and I actually went to 50, and it makes me think how fucking fast time can fly. How fast? 10 years ago, around this time, or 9 years ago, around this time, I went to San Fran to watch Super Bowl 50. I think it was Denver versus Carolina. That's when Cam Newton didn't jump on the ball. I was running around town in San Fran, heading down the pub. It was unreal. I was 26, 25 years of age. I was then watching the Super Bowl. Then I was heading after going to Canada for my working holiday experience, and I lived there in Canada for a year and a half. And now 9 years on, I'm back here in Australia. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got a really good job, and things are just moving forward, right? Not the place I thought I was going to be in 10 years, but it's definitely different and it's a bit of fun. So that's crazy, man. I don't know if I have to. Maybe I should try and go back. Maybe I should try and go back to San Fran for number 60. That'll be a 10-year anniversary. So that is completely wild to me how fast time can go. From being there, I was there for 50, and I was also there in Houston for 51 when I saw the Patriots come back to 28-3. I was in Houston while watching that game. So football, man, is a big part of my life. I've been around a lot of places: Pittsburgh, Houston, San Fran. I've been to Dallas. I've been to New Orleans. I've been all over the shop. I've been to Miami in terms of football. So, and hopefully this year, I can go to Ireland and see that. And then also next year with the draft in 2026. A lot of things happening. A lot of things happening in the NFL. It's all kinds of crazy. But 10 years, man. 10 years since it's San Fran it was Denver versus the Panthers, and the Panthers haven't been the same since. And Denver won the Super Bowl at number 50, and I've still got the football from 10 years ago. It's all crazy. Anyways, that's it. Just want to give a big shout out to Kenny Pickett. Congrats to you, mate. But just Steeler Nation, just let up. Let's let it go. He's not coming back. If Kenny Pickett is successful, I hope he is. I really do. I hope he can go out there and play and be a starter again. I hope he can. I just hope as well that our team can figure it out. That the Steelers can find Fields or Russell Wilson or whoever to be quarterback and find the next franchise guy.